Something you want to explore?
How about this? Move to the tube thing and describe.
Long and smooth, edged, cool.
Colors.
Red. I'm getting this idea because I don't know what else to put, but billowing, releasing, expelling.
Rate. How fast is it expelling? Bellowing.
Quickly, heat displacement, fast, cooling, like a cooling metal, cooling type of metal. Like
what part?
Cooling here, like it cools down in here. Hang on, let me try sketching it to get a little better idea here. It's like it's hot and then it's cool.
You mean like on one end or one time?
Like it's coming through hot and then it cools off here. And maybe with these fibers, it's like it feels solid though. It's like it's hot and it hits here and it cools down. It almost feels weighted, like it gets heavier here. I mean, this is just kind of it's up here it's hot and then down here it's cold. I don't know. Let me try to switch here. It's like a chamber. Hot and cool. I'm picking up these things here. Wow.
Is it redundant? Do you think it's this?
Yeah, that's kind of here.
Now, do you get a feel or a sense of scale? In other words, if you were to take your awareness a point, right,
yeah,
and place it next to it, do you get a feel? Is it bigger than you or smaller than you?
My initial feeling is that it's smaller than I am, or at least this part is that I'm looking at here. Kind of feeling like these things somehow cool it, or something like that. Cool it or change it in some way.
Okay, let's do this. Move to this end right here, and go inside and go down. Whatever it is that's being cooled, become it, and go down this way and describe.
Okay, let me get into this. Coordinate again, but I'm kind of getting this sense that like it comes through and then changes direction. But this kind of like is moving over this one and then like hits this one and it goes under
Okay, put an S4.5 and summarize what you just objectified there.
So there's like a, I'll just call it a heat source. That moves through to two half circle objects going over the first one, then hitting the second and moving under it. It's cooler on the other side. I think I'm going to take the coordinates again.
8566
8566
1161.
1161. Cross, curving up, angle, sloping, hard, structure, yellows, browns, black, looping, moving, around. I'm getting this idea here of destination. Curving, inside, curving down, around, angular, soft, metallic, chemical taste, smooth, liquidy, brown, black, gray, tubular,
Sounds?
crashing, whining, like a high-pitched voices, rumbling, hissing,
Take a sniff.
stale. Kind of makes me, I'll AI this. Makes me feel like I'm choking. I'm choking, like lack of air. Like thick air. It's hard to breathe.
So how do you feel about the target? Do you like it, dislike it?
It's uncomfortable for me. Like I feel cautious about being there physically. It makes me feel nervous. Like the vacuum again. You know, like there's no air in there. You know, I'm inside of this thing. Chamber. That's how I feel now. Like I'm inside of this chamber. And I mean, I get that kind of pressurized feeling again. There's no air here. This is the vacuum area here. I'm in here. Oh.
Shout. Say, go yell in there and see.
Oh, for echoes? Any echoes? I'm not even getting any echo in there. It's like, it's a strange thickness.
You gotta do this. Stick your hand in. Take your whole arm and stick it in there. You feel anything?
Feels cold. It feels like, probably the only way that I could really describe it, it feels like space. Like a cold vacuum.
Okay, on the inside, take your arm and slide your hand and slide it on the inside along this wall or inside barrier and see what that feels like.
Mm-hmm. Slippery, almost moist, smooth.
Can you give me a comparison? Can you compare it to something that you know of? Just so I can have a reference as to what.
Like a can of compressed air. Lifeless, not organic. Kind of brings me back to that death energy kind of thing.
Death energy.
Yeah.
Can you expound on what you mean by that?
Like all the life has been sucked out of it. Like that.
As if it had life at one time before?
Well, let me just get this out and I'll take a look.
Should we stage 5 death energy?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because you keep saying that, and I really don't know what that means. I'm kind of curious what's behind that.
Yeah, let's take a look.
It'll take a minute.
Yeah, let's take a look at death. Alright, so death energy, objects, emanations, weapons, knives, metallic items that can cut through skin. Weapons, war machines, like incinerator, generator, fusion, sucking the energy out, and sucking the particles out. Attributes, well, I'm just getting skulls and crossbones. Cautions, danger, delicate, dangerous. It's like it's almost accidental. Not specifically death as a purpose. Just dangerous. Dangerously deadly. Like radiation. Subjects for death energy be physics, chemistry, combining things, experimenting, experiments. Death energy topics, emanations. This just pooling is just popping into my mind. Pooling, containing, containment, like a radioactive waste. Dealing with that. It's like dealing with radioactive waste, byproducts. Like an energy that is deadly, like radiation. Could be used, yet it's deadly. Like seeped into.
Do an S4.5.
Alright, let's do
interim summary.
Like deadly energy that has seeped out or into something. That kind of thing. Like a breach. A breach, a leak. There's another word too. A breach, a leak. Breach, a leak. Containment. Seeping. Contamination. Contamination. Contaminated. Contaminated.
Let's put contaminated, put parentheses around and probe that.
Contaminated. Two or multiple elements combining. And not in a good way. Not in a good or harmonious way. Exposure. Exposure. Explosive. Mixture. like an explosive, corrosive mixture. Like if some compound comes in contact with the air and, you know, it has some kind of interaction. You know, like this meets this, and then there's the reaction.
And how would you categorize that reaction?
Corrosive.
As in chemical reaction or
Yeah.
nuclear reaction?
It's more kind of like a radioactive. Like a radioactive. I mean, I said fusion before, but it's like, I mean, it's deadly to me as a human. But reactive to each other. And I'm getting this idea, like, I'm getting this idea, I'm just going to stage 4.5 this, like a breach that resulted in an exposure or conducive reaction. To me, it feels deadly or dangerous.
Can you expound on what you mean by conducive as it applies to that?
Conducive, like these two things meeting. And like igniting. Like, you know, like they were contained. And released.
So, okay. I'm just trying to get a feel. It almost sounds as if that, at one time, for example, it was a controlled reaction, and then there was a breach that happened, and this is continuing. Is that kind of
what the feeling I get is that is like an accident. You know, that kind of feel. The way this feels to me right now is like this. There was some kind of a seepage or something like that, or a
because when you use the word breach, it
like
sounds to me like two things were intentionally kept separate, but something happened that allowed them to combine.
That's kind of how it feels, and it feels deadly as a result to me. It feels like that combination to me as a person would be very dangerous and deadly. That's how that feels. But these two separate kind of elements. Like that. I mean, this could even be the break right here. This could even be these.
All right, let's do this. Since I have no idea, okay, I'm really curious now. You objectified breach, and that you objectified these two areas for this one, and this was where they were contained or something. Let's move to the time of the breach and describe the cause.
Move to the time of the breach and describe the cause. Like winding, turning, bending, like pressure. Like it's getting bent.
What's causing it to bend?
It's like a crashing. Or like an accident. Intense pressure. You know, like I'm getting this like AOL of the signal, like bolts snapping. You know, bolts snapping, bending.
Okay, probe the
folding.
Probe the EI column and see if you pick up anything. At that time.
Like shock. I feel like I'm getting two different perspectives. Like one is observant. You know, like there's two different points of view. Like one's watching or observing, and one is in fear, like control, like it's controlled, like unleashed.
Okay. Move to a suitable, or move to the best observation point and describe the accident as it occurred.
Move to the best observation point and describe the accident as it happened. Like two things moving at each other. A collision, bending. Pushed. Multiplying, expanding, ballooning, fire, this idea like set in motion, caused. Like it seems like an accident, but it's not. It's like two things set at each other, like rifled, collided. It's kind of weird because it's like because it almost feels like I'm getting these two. You know, I feel like I'm kind of here as well. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Here as well. this could be here, where there's something snapped or broke. Because I kind of feel like I'm back at this object here with a break. You know, this kind of feels liquidy, and this like the vacuum part here, like a breach in the vacuum, like getting emptied out. A snap.
All right.
All right.
Give me any AIs that you have right now. Let's clear those out. Just declare them if you have any. How do you feel now?
I feel a little frustrated. You know, it's complex, hard to grasp. Industrial, mechanical, byproducts, visuals.
Visuals? Like, what do you mean? You're having visuals? What do you mean by that?
Pictures. Projections.
Okay, you said you objectified industrial and mechanical.
Mm-hmm.
Probe the T column and give me some things associated with those. You had to come up with that for some reason.
Objects, machines, processing machines. And I'm getting this feel like without humans, self-contained machine. Like it can run itself. Like a drone. Well, they don't really run themselves, but I don't know what kind of machine runs itself without having some type of interaction. Self-operating, programmed.
Okay, move to one of the machines and describe what it does.
I'm just going to write down the words that are coming in. Again, self-contained. It's on a self-running operating system. It's generating. What is it doing?
Is it moving? Are they moving?
There is movement.
Describe the movement.
It's moving on its own. What is it doing?
Okay. I'm going to interject. Get some clay. Do a stage 6 header. Put you to work. Same time. What I want you to do is move directly in front of one of these machines. This machine that
Okay.
and model it. Maybe something will come out when you're modeling. I want you to declare any AI that comes up, any stage 7, if any.
Alright.
Anything like that. Any flash visual. Don't hold any of those back.
Alright.
Objectify everything. I should have put this, warmed this up a little bit. Maybe it'd make it softer. Is this the same stuff that I use?
Yeah, this is regular clay. Smooth.
Dimensions, densities, volumes.
wide, narrow, thick, hard,
Describe its movement. You said it's moving. How does it move?
it's,
Fast, slow, steady, unsteady.
fast. Smooth.
You said industrial.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about the industrial? What kind of industry?
I mean, it feels nuclear.
Do you get a sense of direction?
Just like you're moving straight right now. In here, though, I'm kind of getting a sense of this and this here. See if I can. Yeah, I feel something like inside. Inside, or maybe underneath. Inside.
Any AIs?
Not right now. Kind of flat. It feels like it feels like there's something leaking from this thing. You know, like there's something wrong with it. As if it has bad fuel in it. You know, contamination. Like bad mixture of fuels or elements. And like it's slowing down. Slowing down. Malfunctioning. It feels like the mixture in here is contaminated or bad. That's what it feels like to me.
Okay. You mentioned industry, mechanical, among other things, in pursuit of what it's doing. Put purpose in parentheses, the purpose of that machine, purpose.
Okay.
Maybe something will crop up. Probe that.
Purpose. What is the purpose of this? It has to go somewhere. Like a delivery vehicle. But I get the feel that it didn't deliver everything. It couldn't. It's like it's broken down. Transport.
Okay. Describe the thing it transports. Whatever it is.
Right.
Or things.
Describe the cargo or whatever?
Yes.
Describe the cargo. What's the cargo in here? Now that feels organic. That's the first organic thing I felt from the whole thing. There's an organic component, like plasma or blood. It feels organic, but kind of on that level, like DNA samples. It's like delivering samples, like a blood bank. That feels kind of weird to me, though. I mean, this is weird, but
don't analyze. Just declare whatever crops up. You don't know what the target is.
It feels like the organic material is somehow related to the fuel, like it's part of how it runs. I mean, it's weird. It feels weird, but it's like organic is a fuel source. In here. Now I'm getting this AOL. Well, maybe AOL is the signal, but like War of the Worlds.
Okay, stage 5. You need to find out why.
War of the Worlds, objects, emanations, like large machines, vaporizing people, objects like mulchers, like a mulcher crusher, attributes, dissecting, disintegrating, melting, breaking down, distilling, converting to fuel. Subjects, what would it be? Biology, chemistry, biological elements, eating, digesting, breaking down of proteins, topics, fuel, energy.
I want to know why you said War of the Worlds. What's the main theme of War of the Worlds? What's the idea?
Well, the idea here is that the biology, this biology is a fuel for the machine.
What does that got to do with War of the Worlds?
Those machines were eating people. And then they died because they got contaminated with a virus. That's where the War of the Worlds came from. The perception being that I'm perceiving some type of biological protein or something in here, and it's somehow related to the energy system of the machine, almost like it's feeding on it, and it feels like that's the only organic component of this object, and it's like an organic protein or something like that. I mean, I'm getting the image of War of the Worlds, like a machine that's eating humans, and it's a fuel source of some kind, you know. But with this one, it feels like it's smaller than that. It's like a organic protein of some like thing, and it's somehow integrated into some kind of a fuel system. That kind of thing.
And that's what caused the idea of War of the Worlds to crop up.
Yeah. Like digesting.
Are you talking about the latest War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise in it?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
yeah, that one. That kind of thing. Because that's the only thing that feels organic in here, but it's like a small organic, as opposed to like, you know, it's eating humans and that kind of thing, you know. There's like some organic material in here. That it's more like that, you know. There's some organic material inside here.
Okay, did we probe, let's go back here. Did we probe the word industry? Let's probe industry if we haven't already. I don't remember if we did or not.
Alright. I don't know if we did. You want to stage 5 it?
No, let's just probe. Let's write down the word industry under the I column again.
Alright.
And just probe that. Maybe something will come up.
Building. Supplying.
Are there any things with that associated with that industry?
Yeah, there are machines involved. Machines. Building machines.
You mean machines that build, or the process of building a machine?
Well, what I'm looking at now is the building of machines. Building of machines. Like this would be one of them.
And what would be the purpose of those machines? Anything that looks up like that?
I mean, I'm getting like transportation.
What's it transporting?
I feel like it's transporting this. Part of the transportation has to do with this biological organic matter. Like I'm getting this idea, like it can store it. Successfully. You know, it can. I could be totally AOLing on this, but it can store these organic compounds successfully.
As in process and store it, or refine it, or whatever? Is that what you mean?
It doesn't really feel like it's refining it. It feels like it is, like it's harboring it, or delivering it. You know, like a blood bank delivering blood or plasma to a hospital, that kind of thing. You know, delivering, like, bringing organic material.
Okay. Write down the organic material, and let's probe that. Put parentheses around it, and let's probe it.
Because this feels like the organic material feels...
Like for purpose or whatever. What's... What's the idea?
Oh, yeah. What is the purpose of bringing the organic material?
Or what's it used for? Or
combining? I'm trying to perceive when this thing goes where it's going. What does it do with the organic material? Where does it bring it to, and why? Bringing organic material. To reinfuse. To resupply, reinfuse, redistribute, resupply. It's like adding it into the genetic pool. Reintroducing it into a genetic pool. Like a GMO. Like Monsanto. Genetically modifying.
Okay.
Splicing. Would you want to?
Yeah, let's see if you can describe how this thing moves. How does it move? I mean, can you give a description of how it moves? In other words, how does it get from point A to point B?
Right. Let's see. Let me see. How does it move? I'm getting this idea is coming back of self-generating, or like a fusion, radiation, mini explosions, waves. You know, like there's like a wave. That it moves on. It feels cold to me.
Okay, I want you to mentally flip that over and describe the bottom. Just sketch it. Does it remind you of anything?
It reminds me of a toboggan. Like a sled. Sled with the grooves on the bottom. The grooves on the bottom, for stability.
Can you give me an estimation of size?
Like, I'm thinking size-wise, Olympic swimming pool. Not very high. Wide like an Olympic swimming pool. not too high. Maybe 10 feet. 10 to 20 feet. It's flat for its size. I mean, a weird thing is this feeling of genetic material delivery. GMO, like Monsanto. This reminds me of a toboggan.
So it slides or floats?
Kind of feels like it slides. Feels like it's sliding or riding a wave. You might as well as this toboggan. You know, it's like I'm sliding down a snowy hill, picking up speed. Like a delivery truck. Like milky.
Ambiance. Give me some ambiance descriptors.
In here?
No, where the location. Let's say you're standing right here. I want the ambiance of the general vicinity of where you're at.
All right. With that, I feel like I'm inside a large, like a warehouse or facility. I feel like this vehicle is stopped. It's large area. It feels industrial to me. It reminds me. This is crude, and it's not all, but it's like the produce warehouse I used to work in when I was young. Businessy. You know, that turnaround. Well, I mean, turnaround is a generic term, but things moving through, things moving in and out, like an airport. But, you know, like a warehouse, but, you know, planes coming in and flying out. Let me stage 4 and I have that. Like a warehouse, but with planes flying in and out with deliveries. I get this feeling of like delivery. You know, bringing product.
Do you get a sense of just one product or a multitude of different types of products? Or
Well, let's take a look. Product. With this one, this particular one feels like it's specific. This one feels specific.
do you get a feeling there might be different ones that do different, that deliver different things, or are they all the same thing? Or?
It feels so big that it feels like that is a probability. The facility feels so big that it has multiple types of products. I mean, I'm just going to call them products at this point. I mean, that's moving through like a and it's like I was saying, like the warehouse that I used to work in, like, you know, products would go there and then they would be distributed out, you know,
Like a distribution
Yeah.
center?
Yeah. Things are distributed out to other places. That kind of thing. You know, like the warehouse, you know, like that I worked in, like, you know, it was just one stop along the destination route to get to its final destination point. You know, that kind of thing. Distributed to other places, but it feels like biological matter.
Exclusively?
For this
Not
one,
just
yeah.
with this one, but
Oh,
as an overall.
I don't know. Move to other products in this place and describe. And what it feels like is different destinations for different products. Like this guy has his specific destination point, and there's a different product. The products don't, I'm just going to call them products. The products are multiple. And they don't go to the same places. Meaning that it's like this vehicle has this product and that vehicle has its own product. It's like the products are vehicle specific. It almost, and this could be like even an AOL signal, like the vehicles are designed for these products. This vehicle doesn't bring different types of products. It brings one specific type of organic material. It feels like if it were to do something else, it would contaminate it in some way. You know, it's designed for...
Just for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's designed for it. It gets this weird sense that, you know, it's like the organic material is part of the fuel process or something like that, but it doesn't really feel that way as much as the vehicle is designed to deliver this material, that kind of thing. You know, that's what it feels like. And then it feels like it may have been breached somehow. You know, like that's the destination of it, but there also feels like there's been some internal malfunction of some kind in it as well.